Factories of the future are going to be powered by AI, and Dell provides the technology to power a lot of these AI factories. So if that's the case, could there be an investment or trading opportunity in the shares of Dell? That's the question we'll ask in today's Equity Empire Chart Analysis session. My name is John McHugh. I'm a former Wall Street analyst, hedge fund manager, and independent trader for the better part of 20 years. Today, I'm going to be taking a look at two things: the direction of the trend, and are there clues as to where the big money might be stacked up trying to buy at a discount shares of Dell Technologies. So first, let's assess the trend. The way we'll do that is we'll look for the two most recent highs and the two most recent lows. So we go from high to low, low to high, high to low, and as we connect the highs, we'll notice as they move from left to right, the highs are moving higher, and as they move from left to right, the lows are also moving higher. That's the definition of an uptrend. So Dell's in an uptrend. In an uptrend, we'll go look for support levels for potential bounce trades or lower entry points for long-term investments. There is a support level right here in the 108.50 to 106.37 price range. There's another support level just below that in the 103.72 to 101.65 price range, and then another support level below that in the 97.91 to 95.60 price range. So three support levels for potential bounce trades. Let's go see if there's some resistance, a clue of maybe some sellers waiting to sell if they get their price. And there is a resistance level right here in the 114.99 to 117.40 price range. And that's really interesting because that's where this rally has started to run out of steam a little bit. So we're bumping up against that resistance ceiling, at least temporarily, in the 115 price range. So how would we construct a trade here? We would simply be looking for a pullback to one of these support levels for either a quick bounce or to enter a longer term position at a discount. Now, I like to have a lot of reward to risk relative to the risk I'm going to take when I place a trade. And this level, if we bounce off that level, doesn't seem to give us a whole lot of reward potential before we run back into that resistance level. So I won't be taking that level. May take one of these two levels for a potential bounce trade. So you could place a buy limit order at 103.72, protective stop just below that level. Drag your target up to the resistance level just in front of that level there, and you would have a 4.86 to 1 reward to risk ratio if price were to pull back and bounce off of that level. So that trade would look something like this. Well, first of all, if Dell just continues to work its way through that resistance level, move on to the next resistance level, neither one of these levels would be, your order would be filled, but you wouldn't lose anything. So no risk that it continues to head higher other than opportunity risk. Now, could we pull back? Ideally, we'd have a price pullback to this middle level here, when I just set up, bounce off that level before going back up and testing the resistance level we're currently at. And once again, if you took that trade, for every $100 worth of risk, you'd have $486 worth of reward potential. Now, if you want to place a trade with a greater discount in price, a less likelihood of getting filled, but with more reward potential, you'd wait for price to do something like this, which may or may not happen. But if price were to drop all the way down to that level, bounce off that level before hitting higher and retesting the resistance level again, that trade, we can see how much reward potential relative to risk that trade would have. If we placed a buy limit order at 97.91, protective stop just below that level, drag the target up to the resistance level, and that trade would have a 6.42 to 1 reward to risk ratio. In other words, for every $100 worth of risk you would take, you could potentially make $642. The greater risk would be that price just never comes back to the 97.91 price range. So what we've done here is we've set up two potential trading scenarios, two potential trade setups. Hope you enjoyed the session today, folks. I'll be back each day this week with more chart analysis. In the meantime, I wish you the best of luck in your trading and investing, and I'll see you soon.